What if one day you woke up and realized the world had gone quiet? No one calling, no one knocking, no one needing you. You're surrounded by silence, but not peace. Just stillness, heavy, unfamiliar, and lonely. It's a reality many face as they grow older. And it's more common than you think. But here's the secret most people never hear. Being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. Because some people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s, wake up with energy, purpose, and joy. They garden, they laugh, they learn, they give, they live. While others, just like them, feel forgotten and fade into routine despair. So what makes the difference? It's not luck. It's not perfect health. It's daily habits, small, intentional choices that create a life of meaning, even in solitude. And today, I'm going to show you 6 of the most powerful habits that can transform how you age, whether you live alone or are preparing for that path. Each one is simple, doable, proven. But the final habit? It's the most overlooked, and it could be the key to lasting joy and deep connection. So stay with me to the end and tell me, what's your biggest fear about aging alone? Comment below. You never know who your story might help. Let's start with something deceptively simple, your routine. Because believe it or not, structure saves lives. When we lose the rhythms of work, parenting, and social events, our days can blur. Morning becomes evening, Monday becomes Thursday. And before we know it, we're not living, we're just passing time. But a daily routine isn't about control, it's about care. It's about giving your mind and body a rhythm that feels safe, stable, and purposeful. Imagine 2 mornings. In one, you wake up at the same time each day, open the blinds to soft sunlight, stretch your arms, and sip a warm cup of tea while your favorite music plays gently in the background. In the other, you wake at noon, no plan, no energy, flipping channels in your robe, unsure what to do next. Which morning would nourish your spirit? Let's talk about Robert. He's 76, a retired engineer. After his wife passed, the silence in his home became unbearable. He stopped setting alarms. Meals skipped, days lost, and the TV became his only companion. But then something shifted. One morning, he decided to try something new. He set a 7:30 a.m. wake-up, took a short walk, made his own breakfast, watered the plants, called his grandson every afternoon, and the strangest thing happened. He started feeling alive again, not because life got easier, but because he reclaimed ownership of his time. Each tiny act, a stretch, a walk, a call, became a building block for a better day. You see, a routine gives your life momentum. When you anchor your day with rituals, you start looking forward to small joys. You start experiencing time again, not just watching it pass. Even science supports this. Consistent routines improve sleep, boost mood, and reduce anxiety. They tell your brain you're safe, you have purpose, you belong. And your routine doesn't have to be complex. A few ideas to try. Wake up at the same time every day, even weekends. Make your bed. It's a small win that sets the tone. Enjoy tea or coffee mindfully, not rushed. Take a morning walk, even just 5 minutes outside. Set one joyful task for the day, a book, a puzzle, a call. Your routine should feel like a gentle rhythm, not a strict schedule. Let it be flexible, but intentional. The real magic? When you repeat these actions daily, they stop being tasks and become rituals. Quiet moments that make you feel held, even when you're alone. If this resonates with you, if you've ever felt the days blur together, comment 1 below, just that number. A simple way to say, I want to take my time back. And if you already have a routine you love, share it. You might inspire someone else to start. Now, once your routine is in place, the next step is to activate the one thing we too often ignore as we age, our bodies. Because if your mind feels structured, but your body starts to weaken, life still slips through your fingers. Let's talk about how physical movement can literally keep you young in ways you may never have imagined. There's a quiet moment most people don't talk about. You go to stand up from your chair, and suddenly, it's not so easy. It doesn't happen all at once. It creeps in, a little stiffness here, a little soreness there. So you move less, you sit more, and without realizing it, you're giving your power away. But here's the truth. Movement is not about youth. It's about choice. And choosing to move, even gently, can transform how you age. You don't need to run marathons or join a gym. The real secret? Consistency over intensity. Just ask Eleanor, a 78-year-old retired librarian. When she first retired, she saw it as a well-deserved rest. She read books, watched movies, stayed inside. Harmless, right? But over time, simple things got harder. Bending down, climbing stairs, even walking through the grocery store. She told herself, "I'm just getting old." But deep down, she didn't feel finished. So she joined a local walking group, not to get in shape, but to feel human again. The first day, she barely made it around the block, but she returned again and again. And slowly, her body responded. Her legs got stronger, her energy lifted, she laughed more. She even started dancing again, something she hadn't done in 20 years. You see, movement isn't about muscles, it's about momentum. And when you move your body, you reclaim something powerful, your sense of independence. Still not convinced? Here's what the research says. Daily movement reduces your risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. It strengthens bones, improves balance, and helps prevent falls. And most important, it sharpens your mind. That's right. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, improving memory and reducing the risk of dementia. Even gentle stretching, Tai Chi, or walking indoors can make a difference. And if you're thinking, "But I have limited mobility," there are still options. Chair yoga, light resistance bands, standing and sitting 10 times in a row, arm circles, neck, rolls, ankle pumps. The goal isn't a perfect body. It's a capable body, one that supports your daily life. Eleanor didn't just regain her balance, she regained her confidence. She stopped feeling like a bystander and started living again. So here's your challenge, just 5 minutes. Move in any way you can. Stretch, walk, reach, twist, dance in the kitchen, march in place during commercials. Whatever it is, make it a habit, because every step you take is a vote for the version of yourself who stays strong, alert, and independent. And if Eleanor's story inspired you, if you believe movement could change your day, drop a 2 in the comments. Let's support each other to get stronger together. Because once your body is in motion, you unlock the energy to do the next most powerful thing. Connect with people. And that changes everything. Let's be honest. One of the hardest parts of aging isn't the physical changes. It's the silence, the long stretches of quiet, the phone that doesn't ring, the empty chair across the table. But here's what no one tells you. Loneliness isn't just an emotion, it's a health risk. In fact, studies show that chronic loneliness can increase your risk of heart disease, depression, and even early death, just as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yet the good news is this: loneliness is not permanent, and you don't have to wait for someone to knock on your door. You can choose connection, even in small daily ways. Take Frank, an 80-year-old widower who felt like life had slowly drifted away from him. After his wife passed, his world shrank. Friends moved away. His kids got busy. He told himself, they'll call when they have time. But weeks passed, then months. The silence grew heavier, until one day he decided to pick up the phone, not to wait, but to reach. He called an old Army buddy. The next week, he joined a senior social group at the library. Then he found an online chess club that met every Thursday. At first, it felt awkward, forced even. But little by little, something changed. He started to laugh again. Look forward to things. Feel seen. Frank didn't wait to be invited back into life. He opened the door himself, and you can too, because connection doesn't have to be grand or formal. It's built from small moments. A short call to a friend, a wave to your neighbor, a quick chat at the grocery store, joining a book club, walking group, or virtual class. Even one meaningful interaction per day can lift your mood and remind you that you matter. And for those thinking, but I don't have anyone close anymore, technology can be your lifeline. You can video call grandkids, join Facebook groups based on your interests, attend online faith services or hobby groups, even volunteer remotely by mentoring younger people. The point is this: you are still part of the human story. And when you engage with others, you're not just improving your health, you're reinforcing your identity. You're saying, I still have something to give, and people still want to hear me. Because they do. You may not realize it, but your presence, your smile, your wisdom, it matters more than you know. If you've ever reached out to someone recently, even just to say hi, comment yes below. And if you're still waiting to take that first step, comment not yet. There's no shame in that, just honesty. And maybe today's the day you try. Because the next habit we'll talk about is something your brain desperately needs, and most people ignore until it's too late. It's not about people, it's about yourself, about keeping your mind sharp, curious, and deeply alive. Let's go there next. Let's talk about something invisible, but essential. Your mind. As we age, it's easy to assume that memory loss and mental fog are just part of getting older. But here's the truth. Your brain is not a candle slowly burning out. It's a fire that needs fuel. And the most powerful fuel? Stimulation. Not stress, not pressure, but gentle, consistent mental challenge. Think of your brain like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. But when you engage it, even just a little each day, it stays strong, flexible, and alive. Let me introduce you to Janet, a 74-year-old former teacher. After retiring, her days slowed down. No lesson plans, no meetings, no lively debates with students. At first, the quiet was peaceful, but over time, she started forgetting things: where she left her phone, what she needed from the store. Her confidence took a hit. One morning, she looked in the mirror and thought, I don't want to fade. I want to learn again. So she made a change. She started reading again, just 10 minutes a day. Then she added a crossword puzzle with her morning coffee. Eventually, she signed up for an online beginner Spanish course, something she'd always wanted to try. Within weeks, she felt sharper. She remembered names, had new things to talk about, and most importantly, she felt proud of herself again. That's the power of mental stimulation. It's not about chasing achievements. It's about keeping your inner world vibrant. Here are a few simple ways to feed your mind. Read a few pages of a book each day. Try word puzzles, Sudoku, or memory games. Learn a new language or skill online. Many are free. Journal your thoughts or reflections. Watch educational videos on topics you're curious about. Listen to audiobooks or podcasts while you walk. The key? Choose things that stretch you just enough to stay engaged. And don't worry about being perfect. Learning at any age is a gift, not a test. Here's something fascinating. Neuroscience shows that the brain can grow new neural connections even in your 90s. It's called neuroplasticity, and it means your brain can keep adapting if you keep challenging it. Janet didn't transform her life overnight. She just kept showing up for her brain. And now she feels younger, not because of how she looks, but because of how she thinks. If you're still with me and you believe it's never too late to learn something new, comment 4 below. Let's celebrate curiosity at every age, because when your mind is engaged, you're more present, more confident, and more connected to the world around you. But there's something else, something deeper, that keeps your emotional world healthy. It's not about doing more, it's about noticing more. And it starts with a single quiet habit that can change the way you experience each day. Let's explore that next. There's a quiet power in pausing, not to do, not to fix, but simply to notice. Because as we get older, it becomes easy to focus on what's missing, loved ones who've passed, health that's changed, plans that never happened. But here's the truth. What we focus on becomes our reality. And that's where gratitude comes in. Not as a feel-good buzzword, but as a proven daily practice that reshapes your emotional world. Let me tell you about George, a 79-year-old retired firefighter. After his wife died, his mornings became heavy. He would wake up and immediately feel the absence beside him. He went through the motions, but his spark had dimmed. Until one day, a friend gave him a notebook and said, "Write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning. Try it for a week." At first, he didn't see the point, but he did it anyway. Day 1, coffee, my daughter's voice, sunshine on my face. Day 2, the smell of toast, a good memory, my neighbor's dog wagging its tail. And slowly, something shifted. George's losses didn't disappear, but they no longer defined his day. He began noticing life again, the small, beautiful moments that had always been there, but were easy to miss through the lens of grief. That's the power of reflection. It doesn't erase the pain. It just reminds you that there's still goodness left to feel. Science agrees, gratitude reduces depression and anxiety. It improves sleep quality. It even boosts heart health and immune function. And here's the best part. It only takes a few minutes a day. You can try this. In the morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. At night, reflect on one moment that made you smile. Or simply sit by a window and ask, what went right today? You don't have to be happy all the time, but you can be honest. You can be present. Reflection is just as important as gratitude. It gives your mind a place to rest. It helps you process feelings, notice patterns, and let go of what no longer serves you. And it's okay if some days your gratitude list feels small, because even one breath, one breeze, one kind word can be enough. If George could find light again after such darkness, maybe we all can. So let me ask you, what's one small thing you're grateful for today? Comment it below. Let's fill this space with quiet moments of joy. Because when you train your eyes to see the good, life starts to feel full again, even if nothing around you has changed. But now, we've come to the final habit, the one most people overlook, but it may be the most healing of all. It's not about what you receive, it's about what you give. And the moment you do, something inside you comes alive. Let's talk about that next. Here's a paradox few people expect. When you feel your loneliest, when you wonder if you still matter, the fastest way to feel needed is to help someone else. Not someday, not when you're back to normal. Today, because helping others doesn't require energy you don't have or a long list of talents. It only requires your heart. Let me introduce you to Margaret, an 82-year-old former nurse. After retirement, she felt invisible. Her children were grown. Her husband had passed. Her phone barely rang. The days stretched long, and the silence began to echo questions like, "Does anyone even need me anymore?" Then one Saturday she saw a flyer for a local food bank. They needed volunteers just a few hours a week. She hesitated. "I'm too old, too tired. They probably have younger people." But something inside her stirred. She went. She packed boxes, smiled at families, shared recipes, listened to stories. And week by week, something remarkable happened. Margaret stopped feeling invisible. She felt needed, valuable. She made new friends. She even started baking muffins to bring in. That one small act, showing up, reignited her sense of purpose. Because when you give, you remember who you are. Here's why it works. Helping others reduces depression and increases life satisfaction. It creates a sense of connection and contribution. It reminds you that your wisdom, your time, your presence still matter, and it doesn't have to be in person. You can call someone who might be lonely, write encouraging notes or emails, mentor younger people online, knit, craft, or cook something to share. Simply smile and greet someone in passing. Even if your body is limited, your kindness isn't. The act of giving redirects your focus. It moves you from what's missing to what's possible. And here's the beautiful twist. Helping someone else is often the very thing that helps you heal. Because meaning doesn't come from getting everything you want. It comes from giving what you can. Margaret once said, "I thought I was too old to matter, but now I know I have more to give than ever." You do too. So I ask you, what's one small way you could help someone this week? Even just listening, smiling, reaching out. If you've ever helped someone and felt your heart open in the process, drop a heart icon in the comments. Let's create a ripple of kindness. And if you're not sure how to start by noticing. Someone always needs what you already have. Now, as we prepare to wrap up, let's pull it all together. Because these habits aren't just tools. They're a new lens, a new way to live this chapter of your life with deeper joy, meaning, and connection. Let's step into that together. Let's take a breath. You've just walked through 6 habits that aren't just ideas, they're invitations. Invitations to reclaim your time, your energy, your sense of connection, your self. Because aging doesn't mean fading. It means unfolding. Yes, you may live alone. Yes, some things may never be the same. But within each day, each ordinary, quiet day, you still have the power to choose meaning. Maybe it starts with waking up at the same time and brewing a comforting cup of tea, or stepping outside and moving your body just enough to feel alive. Maybe it's calling someone just to hear a voice, or reading something that sparks your curiosity again. Maybe it's writing down 3 things you're thankful for, even if one of them is simply, "I made it through today." Or maybe it's helping someone who feels just as alone as you once did. These aren't just habits. They are acts of self-respect, acts of hope, and sometimes acts of healing. And if you take even one of them and make it yours, you've already started to change your story. Because here's what matters most. You are not done. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are needed. You are wise. And there is still so much life left to live on your terms. So let me ask you, which habit will you begin with? Comment below and let us know. Not just for yourself, but because your comment might inspire someone else to take that first step too. If this video gave you something to think about, something to feel, or something to try, please give it a like. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. We're here to walk with you every step of the way. This isn't just a channel, it's a community, and we believe every stage of life can be beautiful, especially when we walk it together. Thank you for being here. Until next time, take care, stay curious, and keep embracing life with an open heart.